So what kind of bills do you guys think should be debated in the Senate and Assembly at Youth and Government?
Similar to the last question, I do think the bills that are most important in the youth conferences are the ones pertaining to youth, because it's one of those things where you really think that the voting age should be lowered, at least to people who are working. You really think that, and then the second you turn 18, you don't care anymore, because why should you care? You can vote. So I think that having it distilled in us right now, or instilled in us right here, this early, how important it is that we do let a portion of the nation be heard that is hitherto been unheard, and for the reason that they are of their age. And I think something like that is just how we should see this program, is that we are here and we are the youth leadership, and we should be serving the youth however we can. And even maybe going as far as not just debating the model legislature, but perhaps trying to find a way to connect the model legislator to the real legislator and to just the real youth who are not involved in this program but still deserve an opportunity to be heard and have an opportunity to get involved.
I think that the bills that should be debated in both the Senate and Assembly should be of varied categories. I think some of the times the issues that the youth care about are not necessarily things that are general to California, and I think that it's good that we have a balance of the issues that pertain to us and issues that we may not always be interested, such as finance, economics, but yet they're really important to us, and we really do get a learning experience out of debating these bills. And also, I think that it's important that we bring debatable bills to the houses, because what we're seeing now in the Senate and Assembly is there's kind of like a stalemate, because all these delegations and all the youth in California have such good ideas, and these ideas are so good that they're almost not debatable. And yeah, they're just really good ideas, and they're being passed, and they're becoming laws once the governor signs them. And I think that bringing debatable bills to the state legislature, or our mock state legislature, would be important for us.
Well, I agree with what the other two candidates said about things that pertain to us as youth. I also feel that it's really, really important for us to be looking into the future, for us to be thinking ahead. I think this program has 2,300 or so of some of the brightest minds in California, and I think, since we are going to be soon, most of us are going to be taking the responsibility for what's going on in our state and in our country and in our world, I think it's really important that we start thinking about the future. We start thinking about what's happening now and how it's going to affect what's going to be happening in 20 years and 30 years. And I think that's something really important for us to be focusing on.
Okay. So what kind of problems do you guys see now in youth and government, and if you were elected, what would you do to help fix them?
Okay. I would say that, and this is definitely off of what Ryan said, is that we do see a lot of non-debatable bills, especially in the legislator and core program, because it's not like the NIC where you vote on debatability. You're just voting on whether or not you think it's a good idea. And we often have plenty of good ideas. I mean, that is what we're known for. We have so many good ideas. But unfortunately, sometimes we can't find the debatable aspect in them. And I think something that would guarantee debatability is if we expanded the legislative analyst office to a full treasury department. This would open up new program areas, and also make it so that every house had a budget and the state had a budget that wasn't necessarily 100% of what the real state budget is, because that's, as we have been told a million times, in severe debt. And if we really were working off that budget, we wouldn't be able to pass anything. But they put together a budget that they think is fair and as accurate to California as possible. And that way, you couldn't just vote for a good bill. You had to vote for the best bill, because it had to be better than the other ones, because you might not have enough money for the next one. And so I think that would enhance debatability and make sure that you always had to be sure that this was the best thing for California.
I agree with AJ. Adding a financial treasury department to our program would be an asset and would allow our program to expand and grow. But another problem that I think that a lot of delegates feel is their association to delegations and being part of small delegations or large delegations. And I think that a problem which is not necessarily a problem that people need to feel, is kind of like an identity or unity to this program. I think that instead of focusing so much on delegations, which everyone should be proud of, we should always remember that we're one program and one youth in government in which we all love and have come to care for. And I think that's one of the problems that we need to address, is that no matter what delegation or what kind of delegation you're from, whether it's large, small, in the Northern California or Southern California, we're all one big family, and that we need to come together.
For me, something about youth in government, I really do love it, but something that always kind of maybe upsets me is the word, is that I feel this year, I'm a senator this year, I feel I don't really know what's going on with the rest of the program. I feel that as the way the program is laid out, it's a lot of really separate little programs, and there's not as much of like one big program, one big government. I feel it would be interesting maybe using like the court program in and integrating bills that are being worked on in the legislature. And I think just moving all of the different pieces of the program could really create one big blended program that could really enrich the experience for everyone.
Those are great ideas. So now that we've kind of talked about the negative aspects, what's your favorite part of youth in government?
My favorite part of youth in government is just meeting all these people from different places from California. I know that even today I met someone from a place I've never even heard of, and I just was like, where is that? And they explained to me where it was, and it's just this knowledge and just gaining of knowledge, whether not just only from people and about them and where they're from and what they represent, but learning about different issues. You know, I can't say that I, go home and research all these different topics, but when I come to youth in government, I know that I'm going to learn something that will help me back at home or, in my life, and learning about different issues, and that is just gaining knowledge, and that's my favorite part of the program.
For me, I know where I come from. I come from a pretty small town in Southern California, and at my high school, there's I have my group of friends, and everybody pretty much has the same opinions and the same kind of stances on issues. And coming to youth in government, especially these big conferences, it's really, really interesting for me to see what everybody else is thinking about issues and what other people care about. While there's things that I might not think are really important or I might not realize are really important, there's somebody who lives in the Bay Area who is really passionate about it, and it's something that really does pertain to me. And for me, it really just can widen my spectrum of ideas, and it gives me personally a deeper knowledge and a more rich knowledge of the issues facing our country today.